Hello there. In January 25, I had the pleasure of going to see Lloyd Cole at the Glasgow Royal Concert Hall as part of the Celtic Connections celebrations for this year. I've seen Lloyd Cole a few times before. I actually reviewed one of his gigs maybe about 3 years ago, and I didn't really have any intention of reviewing this one. However, post-gig, there were some comments kicking about online that the crowd weren't particularly pleased with the gig and they were giving him a bit of a hard time for not playing all of his classics. And I thought it was worth maybe just clarifying how I saw the gig. When they say the crowd weren't particularly happy, I heard one guy, some fairly gruff Glaswegian, maybe a third of the way through the set, in between songs, shouting out for Lost Weekend. Cole smiled quite politely. The kind of crowd laughed a little bit. Moved on, played a few more songs, and maybe a little bit later, I think the same guy who sounded a little bit worse for wear by this point shouted it out again. At this point, you could see that Lloyd Cole was just a little bit flustered by it all, and I think he said something like, "I'm getting too old to play that one," and I actually not sure we remember how to play it anyway. And the guy persevered, saying something like, "Well, just have a go and we'll help you," or something like that. And I suppose in his head it was fairly good humoured, but you could see it absolutely through Cole for a little bit. And it just put a little bit of a sort of pause in what had been a great gig to that point. Thankfully, it didn't ruin the gig. So let me just clarify kind of what I took out of that. He played 27 songs. Some of his solo stuff was fantastic. The band were in top form. Just wanted to call out a couple of his solo songs because they don't really get the credit they deserve. Trigger Happy, Over and Under, and The Idiot, I think, were probably three of my particular favourites. But there was a lot more to call out. So with 27 songs, a lot of solo stuff, but also he does pay homage and he does draw back into his back catalogue as and when he thinks it's suitable. Now, bearing in mind that Lloyd Cole and Commotions as a band actually stopped recording and I think playing live in about 88. We're almost 40 years down the line now, and there can't be that many iconic bands, certainly not in my lifetime, where you're still getting to hear some of their classic songs 40 years down the line from the original performers. Now, bearing in mind with the fact that Neil Clark and Blair Cowan were also on the stage at the concert hall, you in effect have 60% of the band on the stage playing some commotion songs. And not only some commotion songs, I counted 11 that they played. And I'm just going to call them out. Why I Love Country Music, 2CV, Rattlesnakes, Ready to Be Heartbroken, Speedboat, Minor Character, for the first time in thick end of 40 years, Perfect Blue, A Perfect Skin, Brand New Friend, Forest Fire, where of course Neil Clark literally was on fire, and ending with Jennifer, She Said. 11 songs, 11 of the best iconic pop songs that I think you probably ever hear performed with aplomb with the band that were on stage with Lloyd. Now, that in itself is probably worth admission money, never mind the other 16 songs or so we got. So I guess all I would be saying to guys who are coming along expecting a greatest hits performance, I know a lot of the retro artists do that. Lloyd Cole does play his greatest hits, but he plays what he thinks reflects his career, and he hopes that the audience will buy into that. And 99.9% of the audience at the concert hall did. So I don't know who the guy was. Don't really care, to be honest. If I was Lloyd Cole, I'd make a point, if he comes back, and let's hope he does, on every night that he plays Lost Weekend, except when he plays Glasgow. And I'm sure the Glasgow guys would love him for that. Hope you'll enjoy that. Until next time, stay safe. All the best.